Brock Purdy, he's competing with Nate Sudfeld to be the backup quarterback. Do you think he'll win that competition? If he loses, do you think they'll keep 3 quarterbacks? Do you think Purdy will make this team?
Okay, I've been battling on Twitter for the last 24 hours about this. I think Brock Purdy is incredibly talented. And I think if you really look closely at him versus Jimmy Garoppolo, he's a better prospect than Jimmy Garoppolo. He had a better record in college. He had a higher completion percentage in college. He had a higher quarterback rating in college. He's a better athlete. He's faster, ran a faster 40 time. He makes plays routinely that he just sees it. I mean, I've watched enough quarterbacks to know when they see it and when they don't. This guy is calm. He worked the play clock down in that first game perfectly. He ran the 2-minute drill expertly, despite the fact it started with 2 false start penalties on offensive linemen. He throws strikes. He's accurate. He's got more arm strength than, I mean, we talked about this last week. You thought he didn't have as good arm strength as Mullins. I think he's got better arm strength than Mullins. I didn't see him throw a single pass in this last game that I didn't think was a flat out dime. That Danny Gray pass in the end zone, he put that down the field on his hands. Garoppolo doesn't make that pass. Garoppolo, you could give Garoppolo 10 routes like that. He wouldn't throw that pass one time as good as Purdy threw that. I think Purdy is a better talent than Jimmy. So I think, yes, there's no doubt he beats out Sudfeld. I thought Sudfeld played really well, but Sudfeld's ball hangs. That ball that he threw on the sidelines, that was everybody talking, oh, what a great play that was. It was like a fingertip away from being picked. I think Sudfeld doesn't have the mobility. I think Purdy has got a little bit more urgency to the way he plays. I think he's gonna extend downs more. He's gonna run when there's avenues. There was an avenue for Sudfeld in this game, Grant, where he could have made the first down. There was the avenue right there.
I saw that.
He didn't take it. Instead, he threw a pass, and it was in coverage, and it got batted down. It was incomplete.
My wife was screaming at the television, run!
It's right there for you. So
yeah,
I think Purdy, I think the Niners, I don't know who scouted him. I don't know why he went in the last round. I saw it in minicamp. I told you then. I said it at the time. This guy's going to beat out Sudfeld. And what I saw in minicamp was a guy who was like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like a 6th grader practicing with 4th graders. Like, he was so calm. Like, every drill, it's like he's done it before. And why is that? Because he has done it before. The guy's made 57 starts. He's a total winner. This guy was 30-14, I believe, career at Iowa State. He had a better collegiate record than Garoppolo. He played in a better conference than Garoppolo played. The difference is Garoppolo's 6'2" and change, and this guy's 6 feet and change. That's it. Garoppolo's 225. This guy's 220. Brock Purdy, in my mind, no doubt, is a better quarterback prospect than Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think he does things right now that Garoppolo still has not mastered. So, yeah, I think he's better than Sudfeld. Yes, I think he needs to make the team. And, yes, I've taken a lot of abuse on Twitter for the last 24 hours.
I respect you putting yourself out there. Look, I'm not sure that Purdy's ever going to become a starting quarterback in the NFL. I know you like him a lot. I still feel like his arm strength is a little bit on the low, on the weaker end of the spectrum. What I will say, though, what I've been very impressed with him is his whole ad-lib ability. I didn't know he had that. I didn't see it. I mean, he really does ad-lib very well. He's more athletic than you would think. He's calm. He makes plays outside of structure. That's a really nice quality to have, considering that Nate Sudfeld does not have that. Nate Sudfeld's a robot. And I can't stand quarterbacks who only can do things that they're told to do by the coach. You got to be able to be an athlete at a certain point, and Brock Purdy can do that. That being said, I don't think he's going to make the team. And
really?
He might get picked up. I don't think he will.
I've been steadfast on this. That'll be unbelievable to me.
I've been steadfast in this all offseason. I bet my dad a long time ago I'm going to win this bet. Jimmy's making this team. Jed York said it the other day. They're happy to keep Jimmy Garoppolo. No one's trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. They've said too many times they won't cut him. They're keeping him. People are going to be pissed about it. And I don't know. Maybe they'll keep Purdy as a 3rd string quarterback. I don't know. But I think they should cut Sudfeld and keep Purdy because I think if they cut Sudfeld, no one will pick him up. If they cut Purdy, I don't know, 50-50. I don't know.
I mean, somebody's got to see these preseason games. He did not make one bad throw. How about the one he made out of structure where Danny Gray dropped it? Did you remember that one? And he led him perfectly, and he had to run to an open spot. How about the one play where he gets flushed out, and then he pivots to his left and throws the sideline route, and it was dropped? Yeah. And it wasn't going to be a first down. It was going to be 3 yards short of a first down. It was one of the first series he had. But just with the rush that he was under, to pivot and the economy of movement, find the open spot, and then throw an absolute dime. I don't know. To me, you can't coach accuracy. You're hoping that Trey becomes more accurate. I'll just say this: if Trey Lance if you took Trey Lance and put him in Brock Purdy's body, and he made all those throws Saturday night that Purdy made, people would be hailing Trey Lance as the next. Oh my God, Trey Lance is going to be a superstar.
Are you saying that Brock Purdy's a better prospect than Trey Lance? Go ahead and say it.
No. Okay. But I'm saying that Brock Purdy is accurate, and Brock Purdy is like he's like the best of all worlds. Why? Because he's on a rookie scale, but he's made 50 starts or whatever. So he's like a veteran. He sees it like a veteran. Where I really noticed it is in the end zone camera when they show his up close of his face. He's in total command. He's just like bored. He looks like Aaron Rodgers, as far as that camera. He's just like pointing guys. He's moving guys around. There was a guy lined up on the wrong side of the formation. He's like, yeah, you're over here. I mean, he's like a veteran rookie. He's like a veteran on a rookie deal who's got all kinds of moxie, comes from a super athletic family. This guy kicked ass at Iowa State. He had 32 school records at Iowa State. Yeah, but I know Larry, he's a little small.
Larry, you got to admit that the Niners love themselves some Nate Sudfeld, okay? They love Nate Sudfeld. We don't. They do. And so far through 2 games, Nate Sudfeld is 21 of 28, and his quarterback rating is 118. And so,
but who took the 1 reps Thursday in Eagan, Minnesota? He took reps in front of Sudfeld on Thursday.
All I'm saying is that Purdy probably needs a strong final game, and he could have it, but I'm not sure that he's locked this up yet because Sudfeld has given the coaches every reason to go with the coach on the field.
If they cut Purdy, he will wind up in the NFL somewhere, maybe Seattle, and they're going to look really, really bad. If they cut Sudfeld, he could be somebody's backup. But if they cut Purdy,
the Niners practice squad last year, no one wants Sudfeld.
Yeah, Sudfeld. I mean, to me, I see a tremendous young talent with Brock Purdy. I really do. I think they lucked out. I don't know what Niners scout beat the table for him, but that was a phenomenal draft choice. And if he doesn't make this team, he's going to wind there. He will not clear waivers. Somebody will pick him off, and the Niners will regret it.
It reminds me a little bit of 10 years ago when the Chargers signed Scott Tolzien as an undrafted free agent. Had a nice preseason. They thought they could sneak him onto their practice squad. Jim Harbaugh was like, nope, I want him. And they never really did anything with him, but he was on their team for a few years, and he was in the league for a few years. Scott Tolzien. Anyway, Purdy's probably
this guy's better than Scott Tolzien. This guy's got 30.
Scott Tolzien couldn't move. This guy can move.
Yeah, this guy's and this kid's and also he comes from a super athletic family. Yeah. He was a great player in high school, and Iowa State. 30-17 or whatever at Iowa State. Iowa State's not a factory. That's not a football factory.
Now, the one thing that concerned me is it was yesterday. Kyle Shanahan was talking about Brock Purdy. And he was giving the whole spiel like you just did. And he said, he started 4 years in the Big Ten. I was like, oh, wait a second. That's the Big 12, Kyle.
That's Big 12, yeah. I heard him say that.
They don't play defense over there. Anyway, sometimes I get worried how well Kyle actually knows his own players. But that's neither here nor there because it looks like Purdy is good despite how well. When Kyle came out and called Jake Brendel, I was like, hold on. Kyle, you need to know how to pronounce your own starters. This is important. Lucky Louis says, Grant, the Niners are 6-point favorites against the Bears week 1. Worth the bet. And will you be traveling to Chicago? Yeah, I'm going to Chicago. Chicago's a lot of fun. Worth the bet. I don't gamble, man. The ball is odd shaped. It bounces funny directions. You gamble with your money. I don't want to be I don't like being responsible for your money, man. What would you do? You tell him what to do with
well, I mean, first of all, I would say as a rule, bet against the Bears on the road. Bet on the Bears at home. They're way better at Soldier than they are on the road, but still, I don't like this matchup. I think the Bears are going to be one of the worst teams in the conference. I think the Niners are going to be one of the best teams in the conference.
How many players on the Bears?
No weather. How many Bears can I name?
Can you name 5 players in the Bears? Justin
Fields. I mean, yeah, but I'm a sick individual. Okay. I mean, they got rid of a bunch of guys.
Let me see how many I can do. Justin Fields, Mooney, Khalil Herbert, Roquan Smith,
Cole Kmet.
Okay, I wouldn't have got that. That's 5. I'm done on the Bears. They lost Khalil Mack. Who the hell is on that team? Yeah, that's probably a pretty good bet. I think so. That's probably Their coach is Eberflus, right?
Yep, Matt Eberflus, year 1.
So
defensive coach. But they lost everybody. They lost Mack. They lost Akeem Hicks. They lost Eddie Goldman. Their front is not the same as it used to be. They're rebuilding. They're rebuilding.
You better win that game. I don't know, 6 points, but you better win that game. Gambit Brown says sky isn't falling. O-line just needs chemistry. I mean, the emergence of these 2 rookies is huge. It's freaking huge, I think. I didn't see this coming.
I think it's going to be really difficult to – I mean, most teams want 8 O-linemen, 5 starters, 3 backups. I think the Niners might have to go with 9. I think they may have to go with that extra O-lineman.
Callie Tremor says, what are the chances of the Niners starting the season 4-0? Yikes. Okay, Bears week 1. Seahawks at home week 2. At Denver week 3. Hold on. Let me get this.
That's Russell Wilson national TV, isn't it?
That's rough. That's really rough. At least it won't be cold, but it'll still be really high up. And then
Cardinals in there? What's in there? Rams?
Week 4 is the Rams at home. Yeah, I don't know about probably pretty low. 4-0, that would be something else.
I could see it. I could see the Niners getting off to a hot start this year.
Yeah, if they start off 4-0, that's going to be great. That would be an auspicious start. Am I wrong, or did Kyle say that Sudfeld is the fastest quarterback they have? He did say that with a smile on his face. He runs like a 4.9. Stop saying that. He's the slowest by far. What does Purdy run? Purdy must run like a 4.7, 4.8.
Lance is slower than Sudfeld. No.
Lance hit almost 22 miles an hour in college. He's really fast. He's definitely a 4.5 guy. G.I. Jones says, can I send you a Kinlaw jersey to autograph, Grant? Sure. Yeah, maybe we can autograph it.
Kinlaw looked incredible the other night.
He did. I like that. I didn't know that he is down to 292 pounds. I think that's great for him. When they drafted him, I said they just drafted Eric Armstead again. And Eric Armstead has had his best years at 290 pounds. Kinlaw doesn't need to be 320. That's not going to help him as a pass rusher. He looked better as a pass rusher in this game. He looks good and healthy.
Just keep those feet moving, and he's unblockable.
Should the Niners trade for Wynn? What is Isaiah Wynn available? Yes. Who win? Which win?
I think that's got to be the win that he's talking about.
Hell of a player. Although you always got to wonder when the Patriots are trying to trade someone. Matthew Roberts says Nick Mullins was like Purdy before he had.
No.
Purdy can move.
Nick Mullins doesn't have this kid's moxie. Nick Mullins didn't have this kid's. Nick Mullins didn't have this kid's resume. He didn't have this kid's resume.
He went to a smaller school. Look.
He went to Southern Miss. Purdy's got 32 Iowa State records. Purdy completed 71% of his passes.
Mullins
like broke 5th in the nation.
Mullins broke Brett. Mullins is still hanging around. Look, I don't want to trash Nick Mullins, but I do prefer Purdy because if you can't move, I don't think you can be a starter anymore at the NFL. I mean, I know Tom Brady can do it, and Peyton Manning could do it, and Drew Brees could do it, but I don't think there's any more of those type of quarterbacks coming in the league anymore.
I think it's more the difference between Purdy and Mullins is between the ears. That's the difference. I think Purdy throws a better ball. I think he's a tougher guy. I think he's a more durable body type. But I think the big difference is how calm he is at the line of scrimmage. He's a veteran.
Yeah,
he's like a veteran.
Mullins was a little high strung. He was a little high strung, and if there was one mistake, it would snowball. That being said, he would get hot sometimes.
He would.
I don't want to talk about him anymore. He would. All right. And are there any bonus players that you would like to bring up before we sign off?
I mean, I think I think it's interesting as far as the receiver battle is it, Tay Martin to me looks really good in practice, and yet they're not really getting him the ball. I wonder if they're trying to sneak him through waivers by intentionally not utilizing him in the preseason, because Malik Turner, I think wide receiver, they may just go with 5, and all these guys may wind up getting cut outside of the main guys. But I really like Tay Martin.
Don't you think Malik Turner has a chance?
I think he does. I mean, that was a beautiful punch out on the fumble, and he can help you as a special teamer.
Nice catch on 3rd and 12.
Yeah, he's not bad, but I just think that when you look at they may need to keep 3 quarterbacks, maybe 4. They may need to keep 6 running backs. Yeah. They're really deep on the defensive line. We've already talked about how they may need to keep another extra offensive lineman. They're going to have to steal a roster spot somewhere, and I think it's going to come at receiver.
What about JaMychal Hasty? He set up his game. I like JaMychal Hasty too, and he did have a role in this team last year. What do you think?
I mean, he's so tough and small and explosive. My only concerns with him are about turnovers, but I really like Hasty a lot. And he's a guy that, if you need a starter for a couple weeks, you could get by with JaMychal Hasty.
He's averaging 6.4 yards per carry in the preseason, and he's the only running back who's different. I feel like every other running back is kind of the same, big, supposedly hard running. This is the quick, fast scat back, and he's pretty good. I like him a lot. I think he should be here. And if they cut him, this is the kind of guy that Arizona should sign. The Rams should sign. He's a good player.
Oh, he'll play in the NFL if he, whether he's here or somewhere else. But I hope they don't cut him, because I think he's explosive.
House of Jello says, I was telling my dad that the Niners were practicing the triple option, and he said that is a mistake because it will give linebackers a free shot on Trey. Thoughts? Yeah, I guess. I mean, kind of with the option, you're sort of trying to draw the defense into the quarterback so he can pitch it off. I mean, I guess that's sort of freeing him up, opening him up for hits.
I just think that I think it makes perfect sense that they should use this as a different look, because they've got all the elements that make the triple option so dangerous. They have the vertical threat. They've got the sticky-handed receivers. They've got a number of different receivers / backs they can use in different roles, and they got a quarterback with mobility. So I think I like it. I don't like it as an every down thing, but as a change-up, different look that puts a ton of stress on a defense. Yeah, I like it.
I don't remember which team it was, but I saw another team run a variation of this option in the preseason. It was with a jet sweep going one way, faking it and running the college option pitch with a running back. I saw another team do it. So maybe this is the new wrinkle that the offensive geniuses are going to implement this year that defenses aren't. Because the whole idea is that you got to bring in something new that defenses aren't prepared for. And how many NFL defenses spend time preparing to stop the triple option? None of them. And maybe the fact that the Niners put this out on tape right now means that they want the Bears to spend a lot of time learning how to defend the triple option and then not call it once that way. I mean, they could be playing mind games.
I think who knows? It could come from D'Amico and the defensive coaches that said, "Man, this would absolutely stress us out. Let's take a look," because you've got everything. You've got a quarterback who can move. You got vertical threats. You got speed. You got versatile weapons.
Guys and Debo and Ray
guys. Yep. Yeah, I mean they're almost their personnel fits some form of a triple option, but there's a lot of different ways to go about it. So I'm interested to see exactly how they would utilize it if they do.
Also, Jordan Mason was at Georgia Tech, and they used to be a triple option team. They've changed, but he was there originally when he was first there. They were a triple option team. And if you go back and watch his highlights that year, I think he had his most yards per carry. And I think he was like the up back, the guy who was constantly doing the dive and lining up very close to the line of scrimmage. Well, in the Niners system, it's a pistol, and you have one running back who's basically the fullback next to the quarterback and one guy behind. And in this system, the running back is next to the quarterback and the gadget guy is behind, like Debo or Ray. So he's kind of got experience sort of doing this already. I'm getting my Jordan Mason jersey. I don't care. Better make the team. I like him.
Well, and then think about that right there. I mean, if you look at all the stress that you're thinking about with all those different weapons at the same time. I'd love to see Mason handed the ball and out of a triple option and see what the holes look like. They might be huge.
They might be huge. Exactly. But to House of Jello's point, there's a reason that teams don't run the triple option that much or ever in the NFL. You don't want to get your quarterback hurt. And this does sort of open him up. It makes him a runner. opens them up to big shots. So if the Niners really do want to use Trey Lance, they better have a backup they trust. Whether it's Brock Purdy or Jimmy Garoppolo, they might have to play a few games without Lance this year if they're really going to use him this way. So they better think hard about who their backup quarterback is. It's an important position. I mean, look, every year, last year, the Cardinals needed to survive with a month without Kyler Murray, and they did because they had Colt McCoy. Can the Niners do that? They need to.
Well, and then if you're sitting there worried about the triple option, then you really weren't going to like that Arizona game where they ran Trey on power with no lead blocker.
What I didn't like about that was first, no lead blocker, but also no misdirection. Right now, the triple option is all about misdirection. I don't know who has the ball. That was just like, hey, man, get the ball and run forward. That's not an idea. That's not a plan. Don't ever do that again.
I mean, I've seen like Pittsburgh hand the ball to Le'Veon Bell, and I thought, man, do they think Trey's Le'Veon Bell? That he's just gonna like sit there and kind of dance in the hole and then just find a hole and go. I mean, it's
like they were running straight up quarterback wildcat. I mean, it's one thing if you want to call a quarterback draw on third down when the defense least expect it with a lead blocker, but quarterback power on 1st and 10, Kyle, don't ever do that again.
Please don't
ever do that again. All right, Larry. Practice starts, 3 hours?
It's almost 11 o'clock. Yeah, 1:45. I'll be there, man. Should be a warm one in Santa Clara today. Bring your right guard.
What the Niners need to focus on and what we need to focus on is no injuries, because there's been a lot of these soft tissue injuries, something that the Rams do a good job of avoiding. The Niners don't do a good job of avoiding. And Kyle explained it by saying it's a weird schedule this year. There's a lot of 2 days on, 3 days off. Well, a lot of these Niners players haven't played since Thursday. Practice, nothing. So, Kyle, whatever they do, it needs to be a very light practice. No more Jimmy Ward hamstring injuries for anyone else. That's all I'm saying. That's the goal for today. Don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. Short week of practice, today, tomorrow, and then they play Thursday night, and then they get almost 3 weeks off before the opener. So they got a big amount of time. Everybody does, to have a big amount of time to prepare for that opener.
That's right.
Stay healthy. And that's the key. All
right, Larry. See you in 3 hours. Everyone, thanks for watching. I'll be back between 5 and 6 with my post-practice report. See you then. Oh, and buy my merch. 49ersQCmerch.com. You can get wonderful shirts like this. And to get 10% off, it's CPH1 promo code. See, I'm a great salesman.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, by the way.